right, the president tomorrow will headline a fundraiser for Democratic Senate candidate Alexi Giannoulias that is expected to rake in $2 million for his campaign. But the Chicago Sun-Times reports that a scandal may soon engulf the Giannoulias campaign, and it's a scandal that hits close to home for the anointed one. Now, Giannoulias served as a senior loan officer at his family's Chicago bank until 2005. And records show that in 2006, when the Senate hopeful still held an ownership stake in the bank, it made a $22.75 million loan to a company owned in part by Tony Resco. Now, the loan was made after Mr. Resco had become the subject of a federal criminal investigation that would ultimately land him behind bars. Now, this is the same Tony Resco who was once an important campaign fundraiser for both Barack Obama and disgraced Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. So what's going on here? Joining me now with analysis is the author of the New York Times bestseller, Culture of Corruption. Michelle Malkin is back with us. Michelle, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back, Sean.
All right. You wrote this book, becomes a huge, massive #1 New York Times bestseller, and the corruption continues. What do you make of this case?
Well, I think it teaches us one thing, Sean, and that is that you can take the man out of Chicago, but you cannot take Chicago out of the man. And here he is, headed back to his hometown, his political birthplace, as it were, to raise money for another corruptocrat in his own image. And I think it's stunning to me that rather than run as fast and far away as they possibly can from Alexi Giannoulias, the man who wants to take Barack Obama's old seat, they're embracing him heartily. Now, he wasn't their original choice. Back during the primary, they were shopping around for their candidate. But they've warmed to him, and not only is Obama going to be raising this $1 million or more for him, he's also got Joe Biden out on the stump for him, and they have loaned David Axelrod, the AstroTurf king from Chicago, back to the Giannoulias campaign to work for him and get him elected.
You know what's amazing is Resco and Rombo never had to testify in Blago's trial, which I found interesting. I never got a satisfactory answer to the question, how is it Tony Resco, Barack Obama buy adjoining property on the same day, the anointed one pays below asking price, Resco pays full asking price. Later, Resco renders his lot unbuildable by selling off a portion of the lot to the Obamas. Now, that seems to me like, scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Fair question. Why hasn't the media touched it?
Well, they haven't touched it. Now, you do have to give credit, and I give plenty of credit to the local Chicago media. Both the Tribune and the other Chicago paper, the Sun-Times, have been hammering away at this for as long as Barack Obama has been in office and been endorsed by these people, taken all of their money. And he's back in their hometown now, and they continue to ask questions, not only about Resco and Obama, but particularly about the Broadway bank's decisions to give all of this money at a time when they were teetering to Tony Resco, to mob bosses, to street loan dealers, and folks who were involved in a prostitution ring. And I think the question for the people of Illinois is, do they really want to go through this again? I can't believe that come this November that Alexi Giannoulias, a mini Barack Obama, is going to be elected to office. It's mind-boggling to think about.
All right, what do we need to add this whole culture of corruption? What do you make of Democrats now are facing not one, but two ethics trials in the case of Charlie Rangel, Maxine Waters, heading into an election where Congress has an 11% approval rating? I don't think it could get any worse for them if, in fact, Waters and Rangel hold out and go forward with the trial.